So, like, between the Whispering Orb and the family heirloom, the family heirloom, is that like just flavor related stuff?
I consider it flavor on your end and fodder on my end. Yeah, this will be too much babbling on my part. I am admittedly not as prepared as I wanted to be.
Wow.
Now, the good news is we've all played together. We've all played games. So stylistically, you guys know how I run things. And from the other games, I'm decently sure that I know what your lines are and that you don't have any. which is always positive. What I'm thinking for this game, this is going to be the most minimalistic, bare bones thing, just to go through character creation, to go through a little miniature adventure, to see how the system works, and then we can decide if we like it as a group. We can run something more complex, more story driven with it.
Okay.
Good.
So I put the link to Owlbear Rodeo in the Touchstone page. So if you guys want to get an account to that.
Owlbear.
And so let's jump into character creation if everybody has demi-plane pulled up. And everybody has the shared content, yes?
Yes.
Okay, so
I don't.
you should share with yourself. It's self-caring.
I will when we get off this thing.
I believe you. Alright, so in character creation, do you guys have an idea of what characters you want to play? And do you have a name for those characters? It's not species in this, is it? It's heritage. Ancestries.
Yeah.
Heritage is your ancestry and background combined.
Mm-hmm. Your ancestry is your race, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because they make it confusing like that.
Yeah. Well, I think they wanted to lean away from the terminology of race for PR reasons.
It's more PC.
Yeah. Or yeah.
More of a Mac person, to be honest.
Alright, if I can ask if you guys have names picked out, because I'm just going to run through the character builder little bit by little bit.
I do.
I have mine.
Alright, so Nyx, what is the name of your character? And if it's Nyx, that's fine.
It's not. It's Starlight.
Starlight, Starbright. Okay.
What star do I see tonight?
And Tobin, you're the most picked out, right? Yours.
I pretty much have this character made.
Namu. Okay.
Namu.
Namu. Grum, do you have a character name picked out?
It's subject to change, but right now I am on Chrisivar. Krisivar.
Just a word of warning. I know me. I'm going to call you Chrissy at least. No, I'm going to call you Chrissy at least a lot of times. Just
maybe.
I'm gonna call you Crisscross.
At least you never call me Grummy and Fandolin, because that would be bad. I don't want to be Grummy.
No, but Chrisivar and Chrissy, that's a very natural nickname for Chrisivar.
Okay, whatever. It won't bother me.
I'm just saying, I know me. And I shorten things and normally put like diminutive ending on them, like the E sound. So
Yeah. That's cool. That's fine.
Red, do you have a name?
With a quick, like 42-second Google search for something that I would be interested in maybe naming them. Yes, I will be known as Echidna, as in the cute little hedgehog
From
adjacent
Sonic, the red one.
Yeah.
Knuckles.
Yep, Knuckles.
But I'm sorry, my Greek mythology brain went off, and I thought of the mother of all monsters.
Yup.
Yeah.
Is that how you pronounce it with her?
Yeah, Echidna. It's the same as the animal. Yup. Fucking awesome.
Well, I always assumed because it was Greek, it was gonna be some weird pronunciation.
It's spelled the exact same, so that's how I pronounce it.
Yeah, can you spell that for me?
Yep.
I want to spell it. I want to spell it.
Okay, I'll defer.
It's ECHIN. No.
Nope, you fucked it up.
Oh, I gotta write it. ECHIDNA. DNA. Put a
DNA.
Sorry, I'm high, guys. I was high from my last game, so I'm already pre-gamed.
ECHIN.
I'm actually currently
ID.
No, IDNA.
IDNA.
Echidna. Yep.
Nah.
Yeah, that was always my problem with spelling bees. Like, I had to always like finger write it on the back of my sign, so I could spell it proper. Otherwise, I fuck it up.
Isn't that cheating?
Is a
That's not
unique
cheating.
egg-laying mammal found in Australia and New Guinea, also known as a spiny anteater.
Yeah, they're so cute.
They're little
Yeah,
bitty.
they're adorable. They're little roly-polies.
They're actually
like the
trying
only thing in Australia that won't kill you.
Yeah, they're actually
No,
trying
they'll
to
kill you.
regenerate their population over there because they're becoming
They'll
endangered.
kill you with their cuteness.
I
can take it.
I'm intrigued as always.
Yeah, I forgot about owlbear.
Did you have to look up what a mongoose was too?
No, I know what a mongoose is. I didn't know what sound they made.
I still don't know what sound they make.
You didn't look that up?
Hey guys,
when you
hey guys.
learned a bunch of mongoose?
Mongoose.
No.
What does the fox say?
Why don't we ask Fox? That's
I think that's what a fox says. I love it. That's what a fox says. Do it again. No, your laugh. That's what I was talking about.
Okay. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, no, your laugh is what they sound like. That's what I think.
That's great.
That could be
Love
canon
it.
now. That could very
Right.
much be canon. Okay.
Aw.
So everybody's got an icon, a name.
Oh, am I not in?
Hold on, I got logged out real quick when I tried to log back in.
And in the owlbear thing for the name, do you want us to put our character name or like our name or?
How? Probably your character name when we get it all settled.
Okay. Well, then I will do that, and then I will ask to join the server.
If you pick another name, that's fine.
Okay.
Anybody that has done anything on Owlbear is more experienced than I am.
I have no experience on
Owlbear is
so,
pretty simple. I don't know how to use it from a DM side, but the UI is pretty basic.
I think that it's not that hard. I haven't input any tokens or anything yet. But
Owlbear is like very bare bones.
Yes, but the price point is right.
Yeah, no, it's definitely great. Like I'll give that one DM that I was bitching and moaning about before, like I'll give him credit. He was able to put together maps very quickly and easily because, Owlbear is very simple that way. And there's I believe there's something where like you can basically file share and all that, like free content and shit. So
I used it for when we did Daggerheart, and I don't know. I mean, it's very, very bare bones.
but everything you need is there, so not like you're lacking anything. It's good.
All right. Echidna. I gotta get used to saying all of the names. Have you thought about a class?
Yes, I have. Let me. I was.
For the purposes of this, if you guys have more than one person in a class, I don't think that will affect anything negatively.
Okay. I was thinking about going with Seraph.
All right, Seraph is their version of the cleric, correct?
Yeah.
If I had to put it in D&D
Part cleric,
terms.
part paladin.
Yeah, part cleric, part paladin.
Okay. So there we will type Seraph. So that'll give you access to the Splendor and Valor domains. Okay. So there. We select the class. And not Nemu. Nemu's the
Namu.
Namu. Nami?
Namu.
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 Namu. You are a ranger, correct?
Correct.
And Starbright. What were you thinking?
Guardian.
Alright, that is the equivalent of fighter, I believe.
Also, quick aside question. Is Namu possibly a reference to someone mythological?
It's Korean for tree.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. Never mind. I was thinking maybe you were referring to the Mesopotamian goddess.
Nope. Korean for tree.
Korean for tree.
Magical tree. Got it.
Magical tree.
Magical tree. All right,
Magical
so
tree.
we
Magical
have
tree.
Starlight. It will be a guardian, and Chrysavar, guardian.
Oh, we can edit our names in here. Okay, cool.
Chrysavar, did you have an idea of what you wanted to play?
This is also subject to change, but so far I've got a sorcerer built.
Ooh.
Okay. So you are the sorcerer in this campaign.
Yeah, I'm intrigued. They got some funky shit about them.
Okay, so after we pick sorcerer, when we select class, that will give you your domains, your starting evasion, and your evasion is like your armor class. So that's class dependent. And then it'll have, I believe there are things that can modify it up and down. And your starting hit points. Are you guys all aware of how health works in the game?
Nope.
Yes.
Vaguely, but I could use some clarification.
Okay, it's a meet it, beat it. The evasion score is your AC.
Oh.
So your AC is determined largely by the class you pick here. And where it says starting hit points work very differently in this game from D&D. So if somebody hits your evasion, your AC, they'll roll damage, and everybody will have 3 fresh thresholds to determine how much health they lose. And your thresholds are decided by your armor. There is it let's see. Let me look at something. There is, I believe, regular damage, or it's minor, major, and severe. Does that sound
Severe.
right?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm looking at my character sheet right now as we speak.
So the base threshold says 5/11, and then a base score of 3. What does that mean?
So the scores again are meet it, beat it. When they hit you, they're going to roll damage. The damage determined how high the damage is against your threshold. If it's minor damage, it's 1 health point gone. If it's major damage, it's 2. And if it's severe damage, it's 3.
3.
And you can use you'll have armor scores that you can use to reduce damage, but it'll be at the cost of, I think it's called armor
Of your
points.
armor slots.
Right. So we will put those together as we go. But just an awareness that the AC here isn't caused by like your dex or agility. It's through your class, and then you might take armor that lowers it, or you might have ways to bump it up. But you have just chosen your AC with your class.
Yeah, you can bump it up. You get the option to bump it up when you level. I think there's like 3 tiers of leveling, like 1 through 4. And some things you're given options. I think one of them is up your evasion. I don't know how many times you can do it like when you level, but that's one way to increase it.
All right, so let me pick a class here so I can see what the next step is. All right, next step is choose a subclass, it looks like. So go to the main page here, and let's start with the one that already knows what he's got. Namu, you are a ranger. And the ranger subclass that you picked is Wayfinder, correct?
Correct.
So Wayfinder. And Nyx, have you had a chance at all to look at those options?
Yes, I picked Stalwart.
Okay. Alright, and real quick, Nemu, what kind of stuff does Wayfinder give you?
We find the specific subclass. Here we go. Ruthless Predator. When I make an entry, I can mark a stress to gain a +1 bonus to my proficiency. Additionally, when I deal severe damage to an adversary, they must mark a stress. And it also gives me another feature, Path Forward. When you're traveling to a place you previously visited or carry an object that has been at the location before, you can identify the shortest, most direct path to your destination.
Which actually brings me to another point. There's a mechanic called stress in this. Are you guys aware of that idea?
Vaguely.
Yes.
Stress is... There are certain activities that will cause you stress, but they won't necessarily cause you damage. So when a situation gets difficult, a consequence of a roll might be a stress, or using a feature might allow you to mark a stress. It's a unique part of the action economy of this game that goes with the features and with the rolls. You have so many stress slots. If you run out of stress slots and you need to mark a stress, then that will typically go against your health pool. Mark, Nemo, is there anything else you can add to that, having played it?
Trying to think here. Well, you mentioned that you can use it to use for certain abilities and stuff. Some classes or some like domains use stress as a resource more than others. So going back to that whole leveling up thing, one of your options is to increase your stress. So if you're like a druid who has to use stress to, change into an animal and do some of the other spells, and maybe look at that. But it's like something you have to like keep up with, because not only do you use it, but like other things can cause you stress too, and then you're fucked if you're full.
Like one example mechanically that might cause you stress, say you're trying to sneak past something and you succeed, but you succeed with fear. The cost of that might be the situation so stressful that you mark one stress off. Okay, Chrysavar.
Yep.
You've picked Sorcerer. Have you had a chance to look through the Sorcerer subclasses?
I went with the Primal Origin.
Origin. Okay. So your spellcasting trait is Instinct.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys are aware of the ability scores, for lack of a better word, are different. They're similar to D&D, but they're different. You have agility, strength, finesse, instinct, presence, and knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Agility and finesse kind of split the dexterity thing. Finesse is for like finite movements, things that take very careful control, versus agility, which is jumping around, landing on your feet. Strength is self-explanatory. Instinct is finding things, getting feeling on things. I believe it's equivalent to charisma. Or no, presence is equivalent to charisma.
Presence is charisma. I think that one is wisdom.
Wisdom
Would be more wisdom based.
That's it.
Yeah.
Instinct is more wisdom. Charisma and presence line up together.
Yeah.
And knowledge is knowledge
Intelligence.
is intelligence.
Intelligence.
Okay.
So Chrysavar, make sure you look over the stuff for your stuff.
Yeah, I just used the suggested traits on there for real.
which there is absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it makes sense. Like, obviously, I won't worry about strength, and presence and instinct are my main things. So, yeah.
And Echidna. All right. Echidna. It's now Italian.
It's now Italian.
You gotta get the hand in there. It's Italiano. Have you had a chance to look?
Hey, Mumbo Italiano.
Have you had a chance to look at the subclasses yet?
For subclass, I am thinking Winged Sentinel.
All right. Ooh, spellcasting trait is Strength.
Strength.
It's very interesting. A strength-based spellcasting trait.
Yup.
Finally, a buff wizard.
Mine is agility.
Well, you're not a bard. For some reason, you were a bard when you played it the first time, right?
Yeah.
I was going to say, well, yeah, bards dance around a lot, but so do rangers. Rangers dance around a lot.
Yeah, but to cast like entangling roots.
Well, see, it's interpretive dance. Let's see. So subclass is set. The traits. This doesn't work in the same way that D&D does, where you have your 10s and your 12s, your 18s, everybody gets the flat traits and they plug them into start. So using what we said, agility, strength, finesse, instinct, presence, and knowledge, there's nothing that's equivalent to constitution here.
That's based on your class, right?
Yeah, it's based on class.
Right.
No, everyone gets the same amount of HP slots. I'm pretty sure. It's your, if anything, your class would determine your class and armor would determine your damage thresholds.
Mm.
Okay, so for setting your traits, for making a first character, I would probably use suggested traits. But if you would like to change them, now's the time. The creation of them, though, is pretty straightforward. 2 zeros, 2 ones, 1 2, and 1 -1. That is one thing you're bad at, one thing you're great at, 2 things that you're normal at, and 2 things that you're just a little better than average at. So everybody take a moment, make sure that your traits are set the way that you want them. Again, I would probably pick for a first character the suggested trait button. And then
Damn it, Mark. Now you got that shit in my head.
What?
That bullshit he was singing, hey Mambo, Mambo Italiano.
Mambo Italiano, hey Mambo, Mambo Italiano. You think it's in your head, man? I'm in New York. Like, I hear it everywhere.
is that a popular song in New York?
A lot of Italian restaurants in New York. A lot of pizza parlors.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
it's so old now.
Hey, that song is timeless.
Yes, but still.
Right. Still.
Other than, like, you know, going from suits to tank tops, I don't think much has really changed in, you know, Italian American culture.
I will say
Well, it's a good thing we're not recording.
I know you'd have some very salty people in chat like, hey!
It's a good thing we're not streaming. We are recording. So later on, they might go, nah.
Just bleep those parts out.
No, it'd be worse if I still lived in Jersey.
If he lives in I mean,
You can leave that part in. No respect for the Jerseyans.
Wow.
And New Jersey was a great place, actually.
You
It is
know
not
what?
like TV.
I was gonna say I don't know shit about it, but you know, you know.
I love me some Jersey Shore family vacation.
you know, I've never seen Jersey Shore.
Me either.
I know who Snooki is.
Do you know at least who
Yeah.
DJ Polly D is?
Is that the
Yeah,
guy
he's a fucking DJ now.
Is that the guy with the abs? There was a guy called 12 pack or 16 pack, right?
The situation.
Is that the situation?
The guy with the abs was we lived like 20 minutes away from the situation.
You
Like, it's a
live
big deal when he got out of prison.
Why'd he go to prison?
tax evasion.
Tax evasion.
Yeah, that's a stupid thing to go to prison for.
Right.
But the comeback is greater than the setback. That's his
Right.
catchphrase.
I was gonna say, is there somebody named
Yeah,
the
yes.
Comeback?
And he has a book out.
Yeah, he was actually pretty humble. He was actually pretty humble about it. I was kind of impressed. Like, half of them seem to have, like, grown since the show, and, like, half of them seem to be just, like, I don't know,
I think Angelina could be off the show.
more white trash than me.
Yeah, she can be off the show. She causes so much drama.
Are you white? Never mind.
I'm very much white trash.
Never mind.
Okay.
She
It-
literally
I
brought
told you.
trash back as suitcases.
Does
I literally grew up in a trailer in Waco.
does everybody have their trait set?
Yes, I do.
All right, next option here is starting
I'm
weapon.
dumb.
So in starting weapon, your burden is one-handed versus two-handed. If you take a two-handed weapon as your primary, you can't hold a secondary. If you take a one-handed weapon, you can also have a secondary weapon, and the secondary weapons or thing, I think shield can be secondary too. They provide you extra benefits. And looking through, there is a suggested one that everybody can take. If you would all like to take a look through and pick out what you want.
There's only two that use instinct, and one of them is two-handed and the other is one-handed.
Which ones use instinct?
The dual staff and hand runes.
Hand rune.
Those would be. It sounds like a monkey weapon. That didn't sound right. Those sound like weapons. Those sound like weapons for monks. Those are weapons for monks.
Monkey.
You mean
weapon.
monk-ish, not monk-y.
Yeah, I said what I said.
Okay,
said what he said.
They sound like weapons for Simia.
Your
a primate.
inner Frieza just showed a little bit there.
Thinking that fucking Dragon Ball, yes. Fucking monkeys.
You're
Wow.
just a stupid monkey.
That
was a pretty good impression.
Bro's pretty good at impressions.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you want to hear my Kronk impression too, well, it's sounds a little bit like this.
Kronk is one of my favorite characters. I
love Kronk.
I love that.
Yes.
One of my college professors was one of the layout artists for that movie.
Oh really?
I heard that
The whole fucking
that movie was so fucked up behind.
Oh yeah,
They
I
did a
was gonna
documentary
say, like,
about it, didn't
there were
they?
a few stories, and like one of them was like the whole process of creating it was just chaotic as fuck. Because basically they had a script and a storyboard, but then like the whole thing got scrapped at the last fucking minute, and they had to bring in essentially a whole new team to come in and work for like the next few months to pull together this thing. And it was so bad that the different teams had no communication with each other. So when there's scenes that are like completely random, like for example when they're doing the chase scene and they fucking beat them there, and they're like, how did we do that? They're like, it doesn't make sense. I don't know. Like, that's actually because the teams didn't collaborate and make it make sense.
Yeah.
So they just said, fuck it, let's just play it off, and it was fucking brilliant.
Yeah, Emperor's New Groove. Like it was.
I have to go back and rewatch it with that in mind.
Yeah, oh my god, all the random shit that doesn't make sense, it's because it didn't make sense in real life.
Because it was originally set to be this completely separate, like pseudo serious movie, but
it's gonna be a lovey-dovey film.
Yeah, it's gonna be like this like romantic sort of thing. But apparently the board or whatever that came in and watched it, that reviewed it, is like, no, this is trash garbage. I want you to redo it. But they were already like past the halfway point of their time frame to make it. They basically had to bring in like a whole new team, whole new like everything to like speed run making this animated movie with a whole new team.
The only thing that stayed the same from the original lineup was David Spade.
For real?
God bless David Spade.
That was it. Yeah, David Spade was the only original person that stayed on board.
But he did a phenomenal job.
He did.
Yeah, the whole movie I think was awesome. I didn't realize he was one of the people behind the scenes, and he was like talking about Disney movies. He had also worked on Treasure Planet, and I was like, it sucks because that movie's so fucking underrated, as brilliantly done and as beautifully drawn it as it is. But one of my favorites, if not my favorite, is Emperor's New Groove, and he just kind of smiled and chuckled, and then he started pulling out his credentials and shit, and started talking about stuff, and I was like, wait, what? You worked on that shit? Oh, dude, fuck no. So yeah, god damn this fly.
All right, does everybody have an idea of what starting weapons they want?
Yeah.
So if you have one two-handed and one one-handed, can you not simply swap back and forth?
You can swap in battle at the cost of stress, I believe.
Really?
So when we get to spells, like if you don't have a spell prepared, it has a cost associated with it that you mark so many stress, and then you can put that in your arsenal and take the other one out.
Oh, interesting. Because I feel like I don't know, like the full like description, but I feel like hand runes would be like on my hand, like a warrant item almost. That's fine. That's cool.
I imagine it might be like a wrap around that might encumber other items.
Oh,
Maybe they like float around your hands.
Like a prayer bead or something. I gotcha. Okay.
You can switch stuff out. It's just there's normally cost associated, I think, with switching stuff out in combat. Outside of combat, you can switch stuff as needed.
Okay.
I think. So if we all have starting weapons, starting armor is the next option. And I believe that anybody can pick any of the armors that are there. So if you're a sorcerer and you want chainmail armor, that's fine. I believe the book suggests that you flavor it however it makes sense to you. Like chainmail armor on a sorcerer could be chainmail, or it could be heavy robes or some other magical garment. Mechanically, it's a -1 to evasion. So there's a cost associated with it, and it'll make you more squishy. As opposed to something like Gambeson armor, which will give you a +1 to evasion.
Yeah, that's what I went with. But those thresholds kind of throw me off.
Right. This is what will be the major determining factor for thresholds. So the armor you pick, and I believe the score is how many armor points you have. An armor point after your hit, you can reduce a hit down to the next lowest threshold. So severe, you can spend a armor point and make it major. Major you can make minor, or minor you can make none. You would just actively have to mark them off on your sheet to keep track of them.
Yeah.
And you'll get... Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. From what I've seen too, because I kind of did my research by watching Crit Roll's Age of Umbra, mainly because I just love Crit Roll and everything. But I also noticed that apparently you can only mark down one armor slot per attack unless you have like an ability or like domain card that will allow you to mark down 2.
That is correct. So you can only you can only knock like a severe down to a major, or a major down to a minor. You can't take a severe and spend several slots to knock it all the way down. As said, so the thresholds when they roll damage. So I'm looking at Gambeson armor right now. If the attack damage is 1d8 and they roll a 4 against you, it's just minor damage, but if they hit 5, it's 2 points. If they roll and they have modifiers or 2d8 and it gets 11 or higher, then it's 3. More armor options are going to be available. Where it says armor tier 1, this game divides everything into 4 tiers, and I believe you can't pick options above your tier. Tier 2 starts at level 2 though. I think that's right.
Oh, does it?
I want to say that's right. I want to say they get you into tier 2 right away.
Gotcha.
And it's 3 is not tier 3. That's one of the things I will double check. But as you level up, you'll go into different tiers of play. And the first tier doesn't last as long. This is not like D&D where level 1 is you're fresh off the farm. Level 1 is that you are still starting out adventurers, but you do have some skill underneath your belt. You're not killing dragons right off.
Yeah.
But you didn't just pick up a pitchfork off the farm.
That's nice.
Okay, so yeah, the tiers here with looking at it looks like level 1 is tier 1.
Yes.
Tier 2 is levels 2 through 4. Tier 3 is 5 through 7, and tier 4 is levels 8 through 10.
And we'll get like into tier 2 with this little introduction that we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll either keep these characters or make something new if we're going to keep on with it. We'll talk about that when we get there. All right, does everybody have armor selected?
Yes.
I think I will. Is there?
I'll be right back. I need to take my dog.
I think I will elect not to, because I'm kind of going forward as well, looking through things and kind of piecing stuff together. I think based on one of my options for a domain card, I will elect not to equip armor. Do I still have the armor but not wear it? Or
you can go unarmored. You'll have no armor slots, and your threshold, your minor threshold, will be your level. And your major threshold will be double.
Gotcha. Because
going unarmored, I don't think is entirely recommended because you would be very squishy.
Well, I do see in one of my domain cards available is bare bones, which when you choose not to equip armor, you have a base armor score of 3 plus your strength, which would be 5, which is technically one better than my recommended chainmail. And I use the following as my base damage thresholds. Tier 1 would be 9 and 19 for, I imagine, major and severe.
It sounds like it's almost like it sounds that's almost like a barbarian kind of feature.
Kind of, yeah.
If you select armor, you can unequipped armor.
Okay.
So you might just want to select armor just to have it in your inventory. And then when we get to the domain card, you might opt to take that and decide not to wear the armor.
Yeah.
But you do have the option to go unarmored, should you desire.
Yes. Bare-chested.
Does it give you an armor score?
Yeah, it does say when you choose not to equip armor, you have a base armor score of 3 plus your strength, which mine I took a +2, so that'd be a total of 5.
It says score not threshold. Okay, and it gives you separate thresholds.
Yeah, and you use the following as your base damage thresholds. For tier 1 would be 9 and 19.
That's very high.
Oh, and it gets higher, my friend. That's only tier 1.
Yeah, like that's above plate. Plate is 8 and 17. Oh, I think there's ways to raise the thresholds though. All right, if everybody's
I believe so.
if everybody's got armor down, starting inventory, and I'm looking at this one. I'm running through under sorcerer. So then choose between the sorcerer says health potion and either. So in D&D, there's a big debate whether potions should be actions or bonus actions. In this game, there's no initiative. The action economy is very different. You guys just go. You guys say what you... There's no rolling initiative. You guys say what you want to do, and then you roll to do it.
It's like a very loose initiative, but there are, as I understand it, certain actions that we can take or roll that would, like, if we roll with fear, like it would give.
If you roll with fear,
action.
Roll with fear takes away your turn.
Yeah, you would basically give the enemy an action, sort of deal.
Specifically,
Yeah.
that's one of the ways that the spotlight rolls to the DM, is that you guys roll with fear. That allows the DM to move to spotlight one of the enemies.
Spotlight, yeah, that's the term.
They use the term spotlight.
Yeah.
The DM can also, after one of you has a spotlight, cash in a fear to highlight, spotlight one of the enemies. I will start with an amount of fear based on the amount of player characters. And every time you roll with fear, the DM gets a fear token. And the fear tokens are the economy that I have to make things happen in the world, to use the NPCs and enemies' special abilities to spotlight them and to allow certain things to happen in the world. The enemies
Puppy. Hi.
have a very... Hello. Who's your puppy?
Who's your puppy?
Who's your puppy? Oh, wait, we're all dog
Yeah,
people.
you can't see, sorry.
Grub, you need to get a puppy. We all four of us here have puppies, but you need to get a puppy.
I have 4 cats.
4 cats does not a puppy make.
One of my cats is a dog. Okay, like I can't stress how much of a dog she is. She begs for food. She like
all cats.
she stands on her back legs on the counter begging for food. No, she's the only one that begs.
Cats
Okay, she'll like
That's because
she'll
she
like
figured
climb
it
up
out.
on the bed and sit right in front of you, but thinking she's slick, she'll like inch her way more forward until her face is like fully extended, nose into your bowl or plate. Okay, and like she'll meow for it. All right, she'll be like meow,
Oh.
but begging for food. So I have a dog.
All right. We'll
Matter
call,
of fact, I'll be right back.
we'll
Now-
call that 5 dog people.
Doggos.
Yeah, without the initiative, you guys just say what you want to do. And as a matter of politeness, everybody should try to spotlight and make sure everybody gets in.
Yeah, make sure everyone gets a turn, because again, it's very loose initiative from what I've seen.
There is... If somebody takes the spotlight too much, somebody like tries to spotlight themselves 5 times in a row and doesn't let anybody else go, look at the puppy.
Look at the puppy!
It's like Gremlin.
It's like a little. It's a little void puppy. Oh,
The puppy turned off the camera.
Hi. My bad. This is Lily.
Hi, Lily.
hi, Lily.
She's grumpy because I pulled her away from the food bowl.
Oh,
She
no.
does have that
Weirdest
look on her
fucking dog,
face
yeah.
of why am I here?
Weirdest fucking dog ever.
Everyone needs a black cat. That's my
Little-
opinion.
Everyone needs their own little void.
So what's good about the spotlight system in my mind? If 2 or 3 players want to collaborate on a plan of action, they talk about it, and then they can have a chance to set all of that in motion. And as long as they don't fail or roll with fear, or the DM cashes in a fear token, there's the chance that that plan will go off exactly how they want it.
Yeah.
As opposed to, we have to wait until my turn. Can I move? Well, no, wait until your turn. He goes, hey, can I move back? Yeah, you can move back. It's a very free-flowing system, which also means that if you guys have something you want to do, it's incumbent upon you to speak up and try to get that done. Or if you oppose a character's course of action, like somebody says, I want to rush in and stabby stab. And the guy next to them says, oh, I don't want to stabby stab, I try to grab them. We could roll and see who does better.
Or to use last night's very good...
We're not rolling D100s to try to tame a mimic.
I want to tame a mimic.
We're not
I want to kill a mimic.
So, just so you guys know, last night, they're in a mimic den. The last time they were all together.
A whole ding ding old dang.
Yeah, they found like 7 mimics. And when we start this week, they see something on the ground, and I describe it as shiny. And they go, oh, I want that. And it turns out to be a mimic.
Mm-hmm.
And then they...
Like, oh, I still want that.
They spend 30 minutes trying to make the mimic their friend as the mimic tries to eat them.
Yep.
And I gave them a 1% chance, so they were rolling D100s, and then they were doing unspeakable things to try to make the mimic their friends.
Yeah, like chopping off digits.
Oh, but they were.
Try and feed to the mimic to ingratiate.
Yeah,
to
one character chopped off his finger and fed it to the mimic, and the mimic still wasn't his friend.
But he got a 5% chance to tame.
He did. He had an increased chance to try to make the mimic his friend.
Is that one posted?
I don't think so. It happened just last night. Our
And there's
Jammer campaign.
There's slight audio issues where I didn't realize I did an update to OBS.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I did an update to OBS, and when I update sometimes it disconnects parts of it, including my mic. The good news is Red and Hippie also stream. So I found a site where I could pull videos off of Twitch, and I took Hippie's. I'll sync it up. But if you guys want to, my head is in my hands for most of that episode.
Yep.
As they are actively trying to get this monster to be their friend. And in the process, they try to feed it something that isn't attacking them and made it attack them. Honestly, you guys are very close to a TPK. You guys are very close.
Hippie tried to like force hand feed a passive flesh golem to the mimic in order to ingratiate the mimic and try to tame it. And that didn't go well.
It did not work out as planned. Okay, so does everybody have their starting equipment that they want?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I have a quick question. So like between the Whispering Orb and the family heirloom, is that like just flavor related stuff?
I consider it flavor on your end and fodder on my end.
Something to include, like, hey, by the way, you know that thing? That thing belongs to like a deity or like a demon or something, and they want it back.
That worries me because my item is a whispering orb.
The way that this game is, the story's supposed to be designed, you guys are an active part of forming it as members of the story. So I like the ability to take things and twist them into fun turns. But you guys also have a say of, say, where did I get this orb? What's this heirloom? What's this thing? And then it's a matter of trust. Do you guys trust that I'm going to do something fun with it or not cross any lines with it? Or is it something that you want to hold on to for later and find more active reasons for whatever it is yourself? All right, domain cards. How to describe them? I believe domain cards are a mix of features and traits and spells. So when you yes, no, do you have a?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say just like pretty much anything ability wise.
Yeah.
Let's see. So you get to pick 2 to start. And again, I'm looking at the sorcerer one, so I'm on the same one as not Grum, but Chrysivar. I don't remember any of your other characters' names except Grum and Chrysivar.
Wow.
I know.
Mine is associated with a very cool thing.
Chrysivar.
Yeah.
I know you've had other characters with me, but I can't remember their names. It's something like Valhalla. You had a character named Valhalla or something like that.
I can't remember it either now.
See? I'm not horrible, Red.
It was one of the one-shots, and it was one of the... I think that was the one that I just let him go through the portal and run away.
And you had the old man which defecated in the road.
Yeah, I forgot his name too.
That one was a good one.
What? I wasn't there.
What?
We did that one shot because you weren't there. It was one of the times you had to take off, so we rolled into a fae-themed one
They
shot.
really frown on you using the bathroom in the middle of the road.
As one does.
Look, I'm an old man. You can't expect me to have full control of my bowels, okay?
Partial?
There's a lot of poop themed things because in our group we had also one of our characters that completely blew up a poor dementia riddled dwarven woman's bathroom.
It was very sad.
Oh, dear they.
That, Nix, is how you use a fireball properly.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind.
All right, so looking at the domain cards, like the first one, pick and pull, advantage on action rolls to pick non-magical locks, disarm non-magical traps, or steal items from a target. Which actually reminds me of another point. So you are all aware that this game operates with 2d12 as your main 2 things to roll.
Your duality dice.
Right. You roll, one's always going to be dedicated as hope, and one's always going to be dedicated as fear. And that determines which one is higher. So if hope is higher, it's with hope. If fear is higher, it's with fear. There are 4 possible outcomes. You can succeed with hope, which means it goes good. Not necessarily exactly how you want it, but good. Succeeding with fear means you get it done, but there's some kind of unexpected cost.
At the price.
Failing with hope means that you fail, but it's not as bad as it could have been. And failing with fear means that it is worse than you thought it could be. Which also, for your action rolls, when you roll with hope, you add a hope to your inventory. I believe you can have 5 or 6 hopes, and you cash in hopes to do special things on your sheet.
Yeah.
You give me fear, I get something similar with that to do with the bad guys. So every time in an action roll, you roll with hope, you get hope. If you roll with fear, you get fear. There are also reaction rolls, which you will not accumulate things like hope for your reaction rolls. So if you roll a reaction and you get hope, you're not going to mark up a hope to your thing. Advantage in this?
I was gonna say, I don't think, can you get the reactions better? I don't think our GM like explained it too well. Like how they work.
How the reactions work?
Yeah.
So there's a couple ways they could potentially work. Say we're doing one way that might not be intuitive. Say we're doing like a group.
Hold on. You just suddenly went silent for me.
How silent? No, now you went silent for all of us. You dropped out.
Yeah, sorry. It like right when you started explaining it, like sound cut out.
Right. One way that might not be intuitive. Say that we're doing a group roll, and one person like wants to be the main one to sneak. That person's going to roll the action roll. The ones following are going to roll reactions, and they're going to add positives or negatives to the main one's roll.
Gotcha. Okay.
And the other way is I believe that there are effects that you have to roll in-game based on what happens to you in much the same way as D&D. And you'll have to react to those. And there's also some features, I believe, that will allow you to roll reactions instead of actions. The advantage and disadvantage, you roll a d6 and add or subtract it to the score. It is not roll twice and take the highest number. And while we're on the duality dice, any pair is a critical. So Snake Eyes is a critical, 2 12s are a critical, 2 5s are a critical. All of those count as criticals, and there are only critical successes. As of right now, and we're going to run this one as written as we can. As of right now, there are no crit failures. If you're performing an attack roll and you crit, and your attack roll is say 1d6, your first one's an automatic 6, and then you roll the next one. So it's going to be 6 plus another roll. And it's against their threshold, so you have that gives you the highest chance of hitting a higher threshold you have. If you got really shitty dice, you might still hit low. But in a critical, the set dice are maxed out, and then you roll them again and add it to it. Alright, I think that off the top of my head, unless I read something else, I think that covers the dice, except to say that the DM does not have duality dice.
Is that number on the cards?
Or
like on the upper.
If you mean if like you're rolling against an enemy, or the weapon?
No. Like if you look at the domain cards on the upper left, there's a number and a symbol. What do those mean? Like I guess one is, yeah. Are those like levels or something?
One is.
The one is the tier.
I'll let you explain it.
That's fine. Jump in if you think I'm getting something wrong, because you have right now more experience than I do with it. The one I believe is the tier. So you can't take an option higher than your tier. So all of your options are going to say 1 in the upper left-hand corner. And the number that's on the upper right-hand of the card, do you remember how we talked about using stress to switch things out in combat?
Mm-hmm.
That, I believe, is the stress cost to switch it out.
Oh.
You can only have 2 active. So, for example, in Sorcerer here, the second option is Rain of Blades. That's a spell. If that's one of the 2 you have in your inventory, you can use it. If it's not in your inventory and you want it there, you can spend 1 stress point and swap it into battle. And if you have to swap 1 out because you can only have 2 active right now. As you level,
that's what the number in the black circle on the right means. Is that costs that much for like stress to switch it out.
Right, and I want to say that the term is action cost.
Gotcha. Okay.
I could be entirely wrong about the term, but that is what that is. That's the amount of stress it will take you to switch it out, because switching it out in there is stressful.
Okay. Yeah, I even looked through the basic rundown of like the domain deck card flavor or the text at the top of that, and it doesn't seem to say anything about the other number, because the number on the left, it looks like that's the level and then whatever domain that's from. The one on the right, it doesn't so much explain.
Right. I want to say the left is tier, not necessarily level, because you could be a level 3 and you're not going to be able to pick tier 3 cards, tier 3 items. And there are items, gear, armor, and abilities that are specific to the tier of play that you're at, and you can't take things above them. And for things like magic weapons, you have to have a spell cast trait in order to wield them.
Oh, wow. You can't even have magic items without knowing how to cast spells. That's interesting.
All right, so if everybody take a few minutes, look through, make sure you have the 2 options you want, and then we can go on to the next portion.
Okay. I think I have my 2 domains. I think I'm going to go with Bare Bones from Valor to give me a bit of a boost to armor naturally, as well as a higher damage threshold. And then I think I'm going to go with Bolt Beacon for a little bit of an attack.
Okay. And as I said, as you level up, you will get more than 2 slots, and you will have opportunities to grab more domain cards into your inventory. And you'll have to pick which ones you actively want in those slots.
Okay.
So there are a lot of options. These are the customization options available to you. You could pick a variety of kind of characters to play. Everybody's got that figured out, let me know, and then we can move on to the next step, which is heritage, ancestry, and community.
Ooh.
I like the way the Clank's look in this.
I know, it's so good.
Yeah.
Ancestry. Yes, 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 yes.
All right, and I'm running this off the top of my head, so there's a chance I'm going to miss things or get things wrong. But this game does have downtime is the resting. It's not like doing other things. Short rest and long rest.
Yes.
And during you get an options instead of doing this by memory. Let me do this and make sure I get it right.
Yeah, because you have like you can do like, what is it, 2 or 3 downtime actions, and you can choose between things, but I'll let you explain.
I believe it's 2. So here's a short rest. A short rest is when characters stop to catch their breath, taking a break for about an hour. Same thing that we're used to. That is when you can swap any domain cards in your loadout for cards in your vault. So that's what it's called if they're not active, and that won't have a cost associated with it. That's the time you can actively switch them out. It just takes about an hour to do so. Then you get to pick 2 of the following moves. You can do the same move twice. Some short rest downtime moves require you use your tier as a value. That's covered in tier of play section. So you can tend to your wounds. So you describe how you patch yourself up and clear a number of hit points equal to 1d4 plus your tier, which, as we've said, there are 4 tiers. Level 1 is tier 1, and then tier 2 is like 2 to 4. You can do it to an ally instead if they need help more than you do. You can clear stress in the same way. 1d4 plus your tier. You can repair your armor. 1d4 plus your tier. And you can prepare yourself for the path ahead. You gain a hope. If you choose to prepare with 1 or more members of your party, you each gain 2 hope.
So yeah, you can like pair up to yeah. So essentially giving aid, and then you both gain 2.
Right. The D4 is the main thing for the short rest. And the long rest, I believe, is similar, except instead of a D4, you're going to get to clear 2 of everything. So long rest, make camp, relax for a few hours, get rest. You can swap your domain cards. Then you can choose 2 of the following moves, or the same one twice. You tend to all wounds, and you clear all hit points or an ally's. You clear all stress. You repair all armor. You prepare for the next day's adventure and gain a hope. You can also still prepare with someone else and gain 2 hope. Or you work on a project, which is something we can talk about if you want to be like working on a project, like, I don't know, making potions or something during that time. So you get those options. It's a D4 for a short rest plus your tier, and it's a complete wipe of the slate for 2 of them on a long rest. Let's get back to where we were. Okay. All right. Does everybody have an ancestry in mind? Have they looked through the...
Yes.
Okay, so to go through, Clank is like a construct. It's like your Warforged. Dracona is like a Dragonborn. Dwarf is Dwarf, Elf is Elf. Fairy is fairy. Fawn is like a satyr. Furblog is a... I don't know how to describe a furblog. Hairy?
They're kind
they're
of
like cow people.
They're kind of pseudo like bovine, like cow people. Yeah.
Okay, Fungril is the mushroom people. I guess similar to myconids.
Yeah.
Galapa?
Galapa.
Turtles. We call them turtles.
Yep.
They're your turtle people. Giants are giants. Goblins. There are a lot of options.
Yup. Which I love.
Halflings are, I would imagine that they are hobbits. Humans, of course, are the most exotic race. Infernus.
So exotic.
Infernus is your tiefling.
Yeah.
Katari are tabaxi, that is cat people.
Yeah.
Orcs are orcs. They look like they're going for the traditional orc. Ribbits are frog people. And no one wants to play a Simia.
No.
No one wants to play. Monkey people.
Monkeys.
So
I think one of my favorite things about the Ancestry so far is they really encourage you to get creative with the descriptions. Like for the beast races, like the Qatari, you can just be like a human mostly, just with like cat ears, or you could be like an anthropomorphic cat, you know, or like you could be things like that.
It's
So
very flexible.
They really try to,
which I like. Yeah.
yeah.
does everybody have an ancestry in mind? Nyx, do you have an You're not Nyx, you're Starlight. Starlight.
Yes.
Do you have an ancestry in mind?
I do.
All right, what are you going to be? Who are you going to be?
I went with Infernus.
Oh, that's one without. I was considering playing one of those. Oh, it's Nyx again.
It's
Everybody's favorite tiefling.
It's Nyx, but with more hitting power. It's hard. It's hard to have more hitting power than Nyx. Nyx explodes things every week. And Echidna.
I'm going to be a Dracona.
Okay, that makes you a dragonborn.
Yes.
And you do get special things with that. Dracona.
Yes.
Choose an element for your breath, such as electricity. That's not an element, but whatever. None
It
of
is
these,
too an element.
none of these are technically elements.
Yeah, they are. What do you mean that's
Electricity is
not
not
an
an
element?
element.
Oxygen, hydrogen, gold, iron.
Wow. Okay.
Fire and ice and electricity, those are a culmination of elements.
Do you know?
Super picky.
Do you know what's really fun about fantasy? The core basis of fantasy, like magic and how it's envisioned, they are almost to a T disproven scientific theories that when they're disproven, they become the object of fantasy. That's why fantasy and sci-fi can blend together so well. They're each kind of doing the same thing. They're taking ideas that didn't work in reality and reflavoring them for our story time.
And another way that I like to see it described between the two is it was described, I think, in Thor 2 was that magic is just technology that we don't understand yet.
Oh, I like quotes like that. Any technology significantly advanced appears magic to people or something like that. So, do you know what element that you want to pick?
I think that I will go with electricity.
Okay. All right. And this, when I'm reading this is a good thing to point out, because it also applies to your weapons. It says D8 magic damage, but it doesn't,
Magic damage.
it doesn't give a number. The number is equivalent to your proficiency bonus, which is, I believe, equal to your tier, or at least has something to do with your tier.
Yes.
So
that's what I understand as well. So yeah, it would be like if I was a tier 1, I would roll 1d8. If I was tier 2, I would roll 2d8 from what I understand. Like it levels with you, if
Right.
I understand it correctly.
Right.
Yeah, it's your proficiency.
Yeah.
At 2, you get your proficiency increases. I think at 5 it increases, and I want to say
Gotcha. Okay.
9 or 10.
Now, I do want to I don't know if you noticed this, but it does say it is instinct based. I don't know if your class bumps your instinct, or if you just don't care.
It is not instinct based. My class is based in strength, but I do have a +1 in instinct.
Okay, because it says it treats it's very close range, treating it as an instinct weapon.
That's not a bad catch. It's a good thing to point out. But as long as you have a bonus, that bonus will still go towards it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just wanted to let you know that in case
Yeah.
it was a make it or break it type of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know
Absolutely.
how it would work in this like that.
Always appreciate outside eyes to point out things that maybe my dumb ADHD monkey brain didn't notice.
No, that's Mark.
Hey, we'll watch it there. We'll watch it.
Well, you're the plan to Simia, so you
And
got monkey brain.
And for the Infernus, Dread Visage, so advantage on all rolls to intimidate hostile creatures. And Fearless, when you roll with fear, you can mark 2 stress and change it to a hope. Now, after you run out of stress, you can still use stress, but you're marking off hit points. You're marking off health points instead of stress if you max out your stress bar. So there is a caution to, it's something you have to manage, because if you overuse it, just like real life, stress will kill you. Chrysavar.
I'm also thinking of playing a Dracona.
Are we clutch mates?
I don't know, man. I haven't chosen an element yet,
Let me.
but that's precisely why I went with it, because it specifically says that the breath weapon
Is
is instinct, and that's what a sorcerer is based on. So,
Oh.
yeah,
Wait, instinct, not presence.
yeah. So,
Oh.
All right.
so yeah, that's what I was gonna run.
Interesting. But yeah, that's another part that that's coming up that I'm super excited about, is building up like experiences and like the interplayer like RP building like companionships and like we've been a party together. What kind of things about me bug your character? That sort of. I'm so stoked for that. But anyways.
I wouldn't mind being a clutch mate with you if you wanted. I don't know how much role play it's gonna come out, given that this is just like a first time thing. But like, if you wanted to throw a little something together, like I wouldn't mind. And I could even bring a different element so we can double down if you want.
And Namu, Mark, you are Simia.
Yes, I am.
And what are your specials?
So one is I get an invasion, +1 to evasion,
Okay.
and the second is I have advantage on agility rolls that involve balancing and climbing.
Oh.
Why do I have the feeling that you climbed a lot of trees in real life as a kid?
Actually, yeah, it kind of did.
I get that vibe. All right, so we all have our ancestries, and to look over the communities, They almost give like background traits, like a little background feature. So highborn is noble, lowborn is not noble. Is lowborn not noble?
They're kind of like rapscallions.
Let's see. Their feature is well read. So, orderborn. So, an orderly community.
Oh, I was thinking underborn. You said loreborn, didn't you?
Oh, I said lowerborn because I saw an L. I see high and my mind immediately goes low.
Gotcha.
Ridgeborn is on mountains or on ridges, it looks like. Seaborn. What's Slyborn?
Those are the ones that I was thinking of.
You're raising like criminal underworld.
Right.
Like kind of an underworld sort of deal, yeah.
And underborn, subterranean.
So you're subterranean versus like criminal undercity.
Right. Slyborn's the actual criminals. Underborn. They don't have things like Underdark in this yet.
They're literally underground.
I have a feeling with everybody that they're hiring and picking up that you'll have things very akin to D&D very soon. And Underdark and Feywilds and the various planes will be close matches soon. Wonderborn is people that travel around, and Wildborn are people that climb trees.
Yep.
Namu, are you Wildborn?
How'd you guess?
Wow.
All right.
I am naturally silent. Naturally silent.
Anybody that needs to take a few minutes, look over that. Then we'll do experiences. Then we'll talk about the story and how we know each other after we're done with the experiences portion.
I was gonna say I feel like my community might change depending on like the game that we all decide is gonna go on.
That's fine. Any changes after we decide, or you can hold off. You don't have to make all of those decisions now. Because I
was originally thinking of going highborn, but if we don't deal with any nobles, then it's a waste.
That is true.
You know.
Anybody that wants to hold off until we talk about the story, that's fine.
Yeah.
I got my experiences.
I have one earmarked, but it is subject to change based on like the story and everything of what we're dealing with.
What do you have earmarked?
I have earmarked Ridgeborn, wanting to be like from the high up mountainscapes.
All right, you guys, let's move on to experiences then, and then we'll circle back to this.
Okay.
And okay, so moving on to experiences. There are no set experiences. I'm going to let you guys fill in your descriptions at your own leisure or not. What I'm interested in is experience. So
I don't know how it works.
So
I don't
it's
understand it.
What it is. You have an experience in your past, like say you were a thief. Things that go under your thieving history, like I try to pick this person's pocket. You can spend hope and add your experience to it. So that will give you a +2 bonus when something applies and you spend a hope to do it. So your one of your experiences is you were a thief. So things like picking locks or sneaking around, maybe lying to get out of trouble, anything that would reasonably fit into that category, you would spend a hope and you would get a +2 bonus to your duality dice.
Yeah. So say, for example, like you could have one experience that would be like born with a silver tongue, and like at any experience, any time in game that you would need to talk someone up or like diplomacy, that sort of thing, you could potentially spend a hope to use that experience, born with a silver tongue, for a bonus to coerce them, that sort of thing.
So thinking about
it could also be a role or a job you had or something like that. Like
right.
You're a sorcerer. You could say like you're the king's like vizier or something like that.
Mhm.
And so when it comes to maybe like holding court, dealing with nobles or something, you have advantage or something like that.
Yeah, so it says here, experience example is you can give something with your background, any sort of characteristics you would have, any specialties you have as a character, any sort of special skills, or work it around a phrase. But yeah.
All right, so what might help us decide those instead of deciding them now? Let's talk a little bit about the story and just where we're going to pick up and what the themes are going to be. And then you guys can decide what experiences might work for that. And sometimes you can pick an experience that might not be readily apparent for the story, but it still might come in later and give you a benefit. But experiences are things you actively get to invoke. And it can't be wild off the wall. Some things might require justification, but I think players like to justify like some of the stuff they ask for. So out of curiosity, Namu, you already picked your character. Do you know what your experiences are going to be?
First one is Big Game Hunter, and big is in quotations because he's kind of based on like chimpanzee, but he's not like too much bigger than a regular chimp, so a lot of things are bigger. So when he's encountering some kind of big like larger like animal, or like something larger than him, really, he can apply that for to hit it. And then the second is Tree Dweller, so to help with climbing, and also maybe like shooting at enemies from the tree and stuff like that too, or something like that. Spotting things from the tree.
Okay. Does anybody else have an idea of an experience they want, or do you guys want time to think about this?
I put book nerd as one of mine just because her
I like
character trait is
Book nerd.
That's a good one.
red.
Okay. And I can imagine things like that are, if you have to find information, you would know where to find it, or you would know if you have specific topics that you liked, you might be able to benefit from your knowledge on a weird, obscure topic. So all of that could roll into something like Book Nerd. Did you have a second?
Yeah. No,
Okay.
not yet.
We can give you time to think about that. And Echidna and Chrisivar, do you guys have an idea, or do you guys want to hold off until we talk a little bit about the story?
I definitely want to hold off.
Okay.
I do have an idea for one.
Okay.
That would be, I don't know what to call it. I don't know if I should call it like, I'll probably leaning into like the mother of monsters. Like I'd probably call it like mother of beasts. I've been around like beasts, animals, creatures on the mountain, and I've kind of gotten like an in like to that animal mind sense and have a way of interacting with them and coaxing them to do what I need them.
What community did you pick, if you have?
My community, I am leaning
You cut out there.
I'm leaning towards Ridgeborn for my
That's
community.
what I was thinking. Okay.
You guys can be from the same community type. That's fine.
Yeah.
I don't want to do a whole half a repeat.
That's fine. So let me.
Like broaden our skills, you know.
Oh, I was thinking if you were from the same clutch, you might be from the same community.
That's potential,
That
but
makes
again,
sense.
it's up to
We
you.
could also bring like if he goes Ridgeborn and we're from the same clutch, I could go Wildborn, so that my movements are natural. Oh well, Simia boy over here is already Wildborn.
In real life and in the game.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you guys,
Guys, I hate to do this, but I am gonna have to go very soon.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. I am like dozing off. It's been a long day.
That's fine. If you can stay for like 10 minutes, that will hopefully get.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm gonna put in my a link to my character sheet. I believe you guys should be able to see any of my details and stuff too.
Okay.
I don't have everything filled out, but I do have some things.
And I'm recording this. I can put this part on the YouTubes. So anything you miss or
On
you
the
want to come
YouTube.
back to on the YouTubes that you want to come back to, with bleeping out the appropriate parts. Nothing to bleep out.
Appreciate that.
I don't think there's really anything to bleep out, except the Italians.
Yep.
So,
I don't think there's anything to bleep out except a beep.
so when I talk about maybe bleep out that. So when I talk about a basic story, I'm talking about that you're all going to be in a small village. Something's going to happen, like say kids are going to be kidnapped by something. They'll either be carried off by a big bird or a witch will enchant.
Wind Waker?
The Wind Waker.
Are we gonna play Wind Waker?
Yes, but no. So could be a big, not the big bird. Although that would be a horrible villain. You see Yellow Feathers walk in and just carrying off the kids. The real villain of Sesame Street is the bird, and then he makes them work on his TV show.
It's that gif of looking at a door, and then it's kicked off its hinges, and Big Bird is just standing there in the door frame.
So it will be something like kids or somebody will be kidnapped by something. You'll be either from the village or in the village. So would you guys as a group, would you rather be from this small village, or would you guys rather be traveling through? Do you want to be a group together beforehand, or do you want to run into each other there?
I would say Namu is probably traveling through, just looking for things to like hunt, but also just looking for a good time. He's not a very serious guy, so
Would you say the
probably likes to
village
cut loose
near
when there's a
a
chance.
large enough body of water for fishing to be a common practice, maybe even a way of life, or is it like within the forest, landlocked?
Do you want it? Would it benefit your story if it's near a body of water, say a large lake or a river?
I think so. In order to not repeat, I could take Seaborn, and it does the feature really doesn't specifically say anything regarding water, but flavor-wise, I think it would just make sense to be near water and take Seaborn.
Yeah, that works. So it'll be a small village near a lake. It could be links of villages that fish to make a living.
I just thought of a experience that I could add.
So do you guys think that you guys are traveling as a group, or do you guys meet in like this inn coincidentally? Do you guys want to know each other beforehand, or do you want some of you to know and some of you to meet there? So do you think Starlight would Starlight be searching for something? Like something greater as a part of her story?
Probably, I would think because she is a history person and a lore searcher, she might be exploring to find a new adventure or a lost something.
Does book nerd mean that she would be like looking to write a book? Is she looking for experiences for that?
Probably.
Okay. Exploring for information, and Namu is searching for a good time, which could mean a lot of things. What kind of good times are in this village?
A good hunt. I'm on the hunt for many things.
Big game hunter.
Prowling monkey. Interesting. Night monkey.
Okay.
Would Starlight have knowledge about like the local area? Would any of you guys have knowledge about the local area? Like any beasts, any problems, any things like that?
I kind of want to be from the village. I don't know how you feel about that, Fox.
Yeah, we could be from the village. Yeah.
Okay.
And on Owlbear, I've got like a very quick village square kind of built out.
Yeah.
So that will let you guys kind of see an idea of where I want at least the main action to take place.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So do you guys each want to be from the village then? Is it all right if I mark you guys down as the village people?
Village people.
Yes.
Already written in my story. I'm from someplace else, but I will say that I come through here like often. This is a place where I come to restock, kick my feet up, things like that.
Do you guys want to name the village?
Shithole.
No. Shit, I don't really know. I have to think about it.
Alright, guys, it's fine. If you guys don't name it, it will either never get named or I will name it, but sometimes people can come up with wacky names, and they're worth considering. Right now, shithole is an option.
The village of Hole. That's the name, Hole. Guys, let's go to Hole.
How about
There will be a donkey. If you name the hole, there will be donkeys walking around, just so you know.
There we go, the village of Flexton.
Shores Reach?
Wow. Been playing Baldur's Gate recently?
Absolutely not.
He streams it a lot, actually.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yes.
That's great. I was just being jokey. I'm playing my third playthrough now.
I still haven't finished my first.
I haven't even started.
I'm doing.
I took a video for you, Nix, but it's too large for me to send it. So I don't know. Maybe I can add you on Facebook just to send that real quick, or I'll play it over the camera. But it's to help you.
Okay.
So before Mark goes, just real quick, as always, the games are somewhere between PG-13 and R. I prefer PvP be kept to a minimum. Everybody respect everybody else. If things happen and it rolls naturally, that's fine. I don't mind about profanity, and knowing this group, I don't think anybody else cares either.
What's your profanity?
Anything that gets too spicy or out of hand, I'm a big proponent of fading to black for some things. If somebody is uncomfortable, please, if you're not comfortable speaking up and saying stop, please send me a message. If somebody does become uncomfortable, myself included, we might just move on to a different scene and not come back to something, because there are topics that are best not roleplayed. I think we all know what some of those topics are without me going into it. I normally send out a checklist for session zeros, But since we've session zeroed with everybody here before, you guys have an idea of where these stand. A lot of the same rules for the other campaigns apply here. This game is rulings over rules, and we are all learning, so some decisions will be made and they'll be maybe wrong as according to the book. It's okay if things are wrong. We can either revisit it later if somebody's really bothered by it, or we can talk about it, but it's best not to like spend a half an hour or even 10 minutes or 5 minutes on like a single rules thing if a call has been made. Out of game, message me about any questions you have. We're all going to do some things wrong, and that's just to be expected with a new game.
Yep.
And if I do something stupid like ask for initiative, please don't roll initiative.
Take a point of fear.
He loses a fear.
Yeah, so who was it? Was it terrible with names. Tobin, was it you that was my Dracona possible?
No, that would be
Grum.
that'd be Grum. Panda.
Grum
Panda.
Panda
Gotcha.
Grum Panda slash what's his name here?
Next one.
Christopher.
Chrisivar.
Chrisivar. Yeah.
Christabel.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Christabel.
So yeah, I'll probably, if it's okay with you guys, like put in questions or whatnot, like based on like the connections. I'll just ask you like a random off the cuff random question and just go with it. Maybe we can build some connections. I don't know.
Yeah, just send me messages or tag me in them on the group chat in the server. Like, yeah.
And I'll
before-
definitely be looking up stuff and like getting like character art and things like that to send you guys some tidbits of my character as well.
As I do, when we start this, I'm going to stream it. I'll have character cards made up for everybody. If you guys can send me or post links to your character sheets when they're done.
Yes.
In the Discord character concepts, I'll use that as a base to make special cards for this.
Yay.
And then we can all be special because we're all special. Do you guys have any questions about the mechanics or anything that you need? There will be things that I did not go over that I'm sure I missed going over.
Oh yeah.
That will come up, but we'll deal with those as they come.
We'll deal with those as they come. It's just we're all learning. We're all friends here. It's okay.
The important thing is that we don't get bogged down in the rules so much that we don't have fun. No matter what we do, fun should be our top priority. Telling a fun story and everybody getting along is the best part.
Yeah.
So,
I'm so excited to play with y'all.
It is exciting.
Me too.
I am excited.
And with that, guys, I really need to go. I am exhausted.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem, dude.
Go get some eats.
And thanks for
guys.
All right, go sleep.
Absolutely, guys.
Thank you again for sharing with all of us.
Thank you for running it.
You're quite welcome. I'm intrigued. I'm very
Me
intrigued
too.
by this
I'm
game.
excited.
And I
same here. I'm excited to play with you guys.
When this, if and when this works, and we want to roll on to an actual campaign, I do have a homebrew setting in mind that I'm kind of writing up that I think will be fun.
Nice.
But let's make sure we all actually enjoy this as much as we think we're going to first, and then we can start the madness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm gonna
All right,
save
good night,
my.
everyone.
Good night.
Good night, friend.
I'm saving my server name here is my character name / me, so everyone will know.
Okay, so I don't know if I have anything else to really go over. We have the very basic bones of the story, which is just a very basic story. Nobody has any
Children getting kidnapped by big birds.
yellow feathers and all. Could be Big Bird, it could be a witch. They don't have a monster manual out for this yet. So
Not yet.
they have the monsters in there are fine, but they are woefully inadequate for running large stories. So that's got to be something that's forthcoming.
Yeah, I mean, this system did just come out like late last year, so
It did.
not even a year ago.
Getting monsters out will probably be the next big step.
Yeah.
Do you guys any questions? Any concerns?
One question from me, if I could. So I do, as a seraph, worship a deity. Do you want me to just give you some like loose outline things that I have for ideas of my deity? Do you want me to come up with stuff? Do you want me to give you just an idea and you come up with it?
For what we're doing, if you want me to blend it into the story, send me some ideas and I'll see what I can do. If you want to come up with certain locations or people that are important to the story or connections you might have to the world, you're welcome to send me those too, and we'll put them as part of the world. Same thing with you guys. If there's parts of your backstory that you want included, places, people, things, add them in, and they will be there as long as they're not super duper crazy. This is your story, your world, as much as it is mine.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm trying to think of another experience, because so I basically put expert swimmer or experienced fisher in the same thing because they kind of would go hand in hand. I think of what else to do.
Well, expert fisher and expert swimmer might not. So off the top of my head, an expert fisherman might be good at manipulating small objects like baiting a hook, which could apply to things outside of that. So if there's tiny objects or things that need very finite motion, that skill could potentially transfer over. And I've met a lot of people who fish who are not necessarily good swimmers.
Had it in my head where I am a great fisher because I fish in the water myself. I am in the water. I am basically the predator. I am the predatorial fish in the water fishing. I'm not using a fishing pole.
So you're spear fishing. You're like a spear fisherman.
I guess you could say that. Since I don't have wings to fly, I have it in my head, well, fuck it, I'll learn how to swim.
You're a sea dragon turtle. You're a sea turtle.
Yeah, I'm a sea dragon.
The sea dragon.
I was bringing the electricity, I'll bring the frost, which is the only, water-based thing.
I like it.
Yeah, experiences, thinking about your backstory will inform your experiences, and then those experiences can transfer to other activities than just what you're doing. So holding your breath, keeping your calm, or navigating dark places, because if you dive deep, it's going to be darker. Maybe tracking, maybe hitting moving targets like fish.
And we could name ourselves Surf and Turf. You're in the water. I'm in the up in the mountains.
Yeah, add to the facepalm
I love
counter.
you, bro.
Add to the facepalm counter.
Surf and turf, god damn it. I am all for it. Now I need to make another Dragonborn on Baldur's Gate, but give it a more sea dragon feel, just to envision it.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, that's great.
So I'm glad we're bringing experiences together.
That's perfect. I'm too high for that. Good job. I wish I could give you inspiration.
There's no inspiration in this game.
Oh my god! I found a good art here. It's not technically an echidna. It's more like a pangolin, but I don't know if I'll use this as my final design, but I just want to share this with you guys. This looks super cool. It's not my final.
Any art that you use, please don't use copyrighted things since it'll be on stream. Or use Daggerheart copyrighted things. They're less likely to get mad.
Gotcha.
That's actually really cool, dude. I like that.
I know, that looks really cool. It's not technically an echidna, but
Oh, that is.
No, it looks like it could be a type of dragonborn, like a crossbreed.
Yeah.
It looks like strikes me as an armadillo type thing.
Yeah,
long
so
snout.
It's based off of a pangolin, which is basically it's basically an armadillo, but they have like armor like scales on them.
So do you remember, by chance, Gen 1 Pokemon Sandshrew Sandslash?
Yes.
Yes.
That's what they're based off of. Sandslash is basically a pangolin.
Mm-hmm.
They're really cool looking. That is really cool artwork for that. I like that.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, oh, that's so cool.
I need to find something to match mine.
Red, now while I'm thinking about it, are you going to stream it too?
I could potentially stream it.
That's up
but
to you. I'm going to stream it on my end. I know you like to stream.
Yeah, I do. I very much do.
So if you think you'll get views off of it, that's fine. And I can I can send you the card that I make in the same way that I do for the other one if you want to use that.
For the other one. Sure, absolutely.
It's again, it all goes to your comfort level.
Yeah.
And
okay. That's so cool.
I know Starlight wants to be a streamer. I can see it in her eyes.
Woo! Join us.
Yeah.
One of us.
No, streaming's fun.
It is.
One day.
We'll get you there. I can't think of anything else on my end that I really want to bring up.
Well, so for the expert swimmer, can I put in parentheses like a couple of things that would kind of go in tandem with it, or is that too much? Just to kind of specify,
You
so that it's not just so broad and all around, you know.
In one sense, you're right. You don't want to get too broad with something.
Mm-hmm.
I would also say you don't want to necessarily limit yourself too heavily. So you're welcome to if it helps clarify for you.
Mm-hmm.
I think if it applies to circumstances potentially outside of it, then that's fine. Worst I can tell you is no.
Okay, well that's what I was thinking. Like I feel like just to kind of narrow it down would give me an idea of the things, but if something specific that's not there came up, then yeah, I would definitely ask. It's just to kind of give me personally like something to quote unquote generalize on and simplify for that sake.
I'll say this to you guys: can give each other the help action as long as there's a reasonable reason as to why. Like if you have an experience, like say Starlight has read books about the idea of picking locks, then she can give the help action to somebody who's trying to pick a lock because it makes sense.
Yeah.
It's a game of imagination where you can expand out and you can try to fit whatever bullshit thing you want in, as long as it makes sense.
Like I just throwing this out there, you do not have to take it by any means. But one of your experiences could be. So I read this in a book once.
Yeah, that would.
You know, I read this in the book of blah blah. Come up with it. I don't know.
I am excited to see what will happen next week.
Yes. So will this be, I guess, a question that it could be open. You might not have an idea. Would this be the same time next week then?
Yep, this is basically, we are redirecting from the Endless Rain podcast to this to see if it works.
Okay.
And then we'll either keep on Daggerheart or like an Endless Rain thing, or we might do an Endless Rain to talk about the outcome of it and then switch to another campaign, either the one I'm homebrewing. There's not a lot of, there's campaign frames that they have in the book, but there's not a lot yet.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like 10 to midnight. 10 to midnight for the next couple weeks.
Okay.
We'll finish before August. It might just take the 8th and the 15th, and then we get the kids back, and then we spend the 22nd either wrapping up the campaign or talking about our experience.
Sounds good.
And then we can decide how to go on from there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, before I log off, do you guys, last chance for questions, concerns, share a good story, positives, negatives?
If I wanted my god to be a supposed, like, Jormungandr adjacent thing.
Can I ask what a Jormungandr is?
Oh, it's the Norse world snake. It's the snake that wraps around the world. And, have you seen or played God of War at all?
I have not.
It's the world serpent.
Yeah, it's the world serpent. Jormungandr. The Midgard serpent, also known as the world serpent, who encircles the realm of Midgard. That basically...
Midgard's old? Midgard's warmer?
Midgard's warmer.
Sorry, it's Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Big snake.
Yeah, Midgard's warmer. Yeah, basically.
You can flavor it however you want.
Uh-huh.
If the world expands out, your idea might be shared by other people, and other, like, NPCs, other cultures might have slightly different views, but yours will still fit in the world.
Yeah.
And just like any other religions in real life, people will oppose it and think it's nonsense, and some will have different ideas, and other people will have competing gods.
Yes.
All of which are possibilities.
It is Jormungandr.
As always, don't expect me to pronounce anything correctly. I am awful with that nonsense.
I'll give it a more DM friendly name that you can pronounce.
And as I've stated before, instead of Game Master, I will be going with the title Dagger Master.
Dagger Master, because it's still DM.
I'm going to be the DM. Continuing on, yes. I don't know why I prefer DM. It's like tissues versus Kleenex.
Yeah.
Kleenex is the trusted brand name.
Mm-hmm.
Tissue or facial tissue or whatever it is.
Tissue,
It's
yeah.
just, no, we're not going to do that. We're going with DM.
Okay.
Really quick, where do you add your spells? Is that on the character sheet itself?
Your spells are your domain cards.
Yeah, your domain cards are your spells.
Oh.
Yep.
That's one of the functions they serve. That's why when you decide to pick, say, out of the first two, and you pick one ability and one spell, that's fine. You have an ability and a spell. If you pick two spells, you have two spells, and you don't have the ability. As you level up and you have the options to get more, that's where your customization and choices go. You can have two active now, and as you get more in the future, you'll have so many active and so many in your vault. And you switch them out during rests, or you switch them out for stress points outside of rest.
Okay. Interesting.
You start.
So I only get 2 spells basically.
At level 1.
At level one.
At level 1.
But everybody gets those cards, right?
There's cards unique to their domains.
Yep.
So
There's
you
two
don't
domains you have access to for each class. Some of them overlap.
So
For instance, the Seraph and the Guardian both have. Ooh, what is it? I think Valor. I think. So they can overlap, but yeah, each person starts out with their choice. They can go with 1 in each of their domains. They can go in 2 in one domain, but they have the run of the mill of what's available to them.
Right. So as a sorcerer, your 2 domains are, let me find it here.
And then midnight.
Yes, so your domain cards are based off of that.
Okay, so
Like,
my spells. So basically, I'm not doing anything different like in D&D where marshals have their weapons and spellcasters pick their spells. Basically, I'm doing the same thing as everyone else. It's just different, granted based off of my domains.
Right.
Right, and also you don't have there's no spell slots or spells per day or anything like that. It's as long as you have whatever resource that spell or ability might take up is what you have for it.
Which are typically stresses and hopes.
Yes.
But yeah, yours specifically, which one they belong to. Underneath it says pick and pull, it says midnight. And unleash chaos is arcana. Those are the ones that you have access to.
Okay. I think that made things much easier now because you and I being basically brothers.
Brother.
My other shit easy. Okay.
I'm gonna hop off because I have to get ready to go on my trip tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Enjoy the trip. What trip is it? You don't have to say.
Going to Bermuda.
4th of July trip. That's when my nails are painted red and blue.
Oh,
my toes are white.
I did notice that you're. I did notice that you are painted. They are nice.
Thank you. I did them myself. I dipped them in the powder and filed them and all the fun stuff that you go somewhere to get done.
I'm glad you think that's fun.
Yeah.
It'll drive me nuts.
It does when they don't come out right. But yeah, no, we have ranch prom too. So all of his family, everybody's boyfriend's family is gonna dress up in prom dresses and tuxedos from the 80s.
Oh,
you can find out at a Goodwill store.
That sounds nice.
Yeah. So you'll see me all glittered up because I won't be able to take it off after we take the photo.
That's fine. We'll just say you're dressing up for everything.
Okay. I'll wear my trucker hat too.
Aw. Never mind. Never mind.
The sparkles will help with the boom boom.
As long as it's not red with lettering, it's fine.
It's me with what?
No, not you. The other red.
Oh, okay.
We could do fireworks during the campaign tomorrow night or Friday night.
I do like fireworks.
Yeah. I'm hoping they do them the night before. Otherwise, that may cause conflict for Friday night's game.
That's fine, but let us know if you can make it.
Okay.
If not, it's nothing too bad. I'm just gonna kill potentially one number.
No.
You can't kill Shroud.
I don't kill them. The decisions you guys make in game do.
No, he's not gonna die.
I hope
We're
not.
gonna revive him.
It's potential. I do like that he was infected and nobody knew it until they were in combat and he couldn't heal himself. That was fun.
Oh no.
No, that was not fun.
It depends on which side of the DM screen you sit on.
Wow.
Well, shit.
Yeah.
You know, the mind flare got away. And it's hard to say what's beyond those rifts. You guys killed an elder brain.
Oh,
That was-
congrats!
It was an infected.
That was really fun. Not to brag, but I kind of soloed on that thing.
It was an infected, melting elder brain, but you guys killed it.
Don't take away my victory.
It was a victory.
I
It was.
couldn't move. I was fighting the bad guys at the other end of the hallway.
You guys were pincered, and they rolled poorly, and you guys rolled well, which is always important.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like I have an interesting episode to watch on my way to the ranch.
I think all of our stuff is interesting for both for both groups.
Oh, but I want to hear about how you try to persuade a mimic.
I got us spliced together.
So much me, but it was Hippie with the other character chiefly. My character just came in and tried to assist him because my character likes to think that they're best friends.
I just have to resplice that sound together from his stuff. though.
Yeah,
I hate when I lose sound. Every time I hate.
I know,
updates.
it's always so frustrating, right?
Especially if it's the good episodes. It's the best episodes that it always happens on.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, good night, guys, and I look forward to our wonderful adventure.
I look forward to
Have a
this
good
as well.
night.
All right.
Good night. Sleep well.
All right.
Bye.
I'm gonna hop off too if you guys are good.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
That's
good.
fine.
I'm probably just gonna do some character fleshing out, and I will send you guys stuff in the Discord when I have it.
Cool. I have base templates for everybody's character cards, and
Yes.
I can detail them out a little bit more when I get that information.
Yes.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you guys. Sleep well.
Yeah,
Have
you
fun with the
too.
rest of your
Thank you so
night.
much.
Bye, guys.
Yeah.
Good night,
bye-bye.
y'all.